All right, so once you've got your main points and you're really comfortable with that, then you have to start laying in what your support's going to be. And in general, you want your support to be a collection of reasons, statistics, examples, anything that you're going to do to make your case. And you don't want to have all one or all of the other. You want to try to mix your support. Nobody wants to listen to 5 minutes of just straight statistics. And also, no one's going to believe you if you never give any type of specific information. I wanted to kind of show you how I actually do this, how I actually do this when I'm talking about laying in my own support. So this is actually what I do, and I do this before I get online and start researching. So if we're looking at this example of the fact that, uniforms are a good thing in public schools, it was like a random, you'll note that I've taken one of my main points, which is about distractions in learning, and I've separated that out into the distraction part and the learning part. And so you can kind of see that. I don't know why this is off center here and here, but this is my primary subordinate point. This is my secondary subordinate point. These are all called subordinating subpoints. That's what these are here, okay? Now, normally in a good speech, generally what you're looking for is 2 subordinating subpoints with 2 pieces of illustration to each one, all right? But when I'm in these initial stages of drafting, I try to brainstorm everything that might actually support my case. So if I'm brainstorming here, and this is before I go online and research, maybe I remember, because we live in this weird miasma of information that we kind of see all the time, and I remember somewhere some kid got sent home for wearing an NRA t-shirt. And so I'm going to see if I can find that. I also might look for another example, because that would look really good on a slide, as if I had 2 pictures of these 2 people who were sent home for some reason. And then I can talk about how this was described. And then I can also talk about maybe some other kind of source that talks about competing on fashion. What you'll see is that what emerges as you're working through this is kind of a to-do list of what to research for. I'm looking for a stat on MAP test scores, because I know that, most schools in the area do MAP tests, and it would be kind of cool to see if uniform schools report overall higher test scores, and what percentage of those schools actually fall into that category. So here's the thing though, when you do it like this, first of all, you're going to be so much safer from plagiarism and from getting in trouble. If you brainstorm what you want to find before you hop online, you're going to always be looking for stuff from your point of view instead of relying on someone else's point of view. But it also requires you to be more mentally flexible, because sometimes what's going to happen is, let's say I can't find this statistic. Instead, I can find an article that says that after a school instituted dress codes, that their test scores went up. Well, I can use that here instead. But what this does is it gives me kind of a to-do list of things I could go out and look for. And then that's going to lead us into that research phase. So I wanted to show you, this is how I actually work. When I go to do a paper and I'm actually looking for, I am actually looking for something, I will almost always do this method, and it works really well for me. And the cool thing is that in general, when I'm doing research like this, I'm lucky in the fact that I'm never copying off of somebody else. So hopefully you find that helpful and you can use it when you're doing your own speech. See ya in the next video.